Welcome to Simple Weight Loss for Busy Moms, the podcast that cuts through all the social media noise and gives you real strategies to lose weight without fad diets or complicated plans. I'm Amanda Ford, and I teach busy moms how to use calorie tracking, simple nutrition skills, and strength training to finally lose the first 10, 20, or even 30 pounds and keep it off. If you're tired of starting over, overwhelmed by your schedule, or wondering if lasting weight loss is even possible while raising kids, you're in the right place. Each week, you'll get practical tips, tough love motivation, and repeatable routines that fit into your real life so you can feel strong, confident, and in control. This is Simple Weight Loss for Busy Moms. Let's get started. Hey there, welcome back to the Simple Weight Loss for Busy Moms podcast. We are jumping right back into week number 2. This is the second lesson for week 2 in my series called How to Lose Weight. I'm your host, Amanda Ford, weight loss coach for busy moms. In this series, I am coaching you exactly as if I was your one-to-one coach. You and me are having weekly check-ins together. We're going through the process. Nice and easy, just me and you. As a continued reminder, these episodes can stand alone, but the series is meant to be listened to from start to finish as each lesson builds on the next. If you're joining me for this series for the very first time, welcome to the podcast. I am so glad to have you here. I have many episodes for you to binge on, but if you're interested in this series in particular, please be sure to start at episode number 30. Then be sure to come back each week for your next coaching session. The first couple weeks, there are 2 episodes each, and I'm pretty sure as we move away from this second week that I am going to drop it down to 1 episode per lesson, but we'll see how it goes from there. This has been so fun thus far. It's been a major hit with all my loyal listeners because this series is just like you and me talking one-to-one, just 2 friends working together. But it's really been a blast for me to do, and I cannot hope and pray enough that this is the series that will get you to the place where you are losing weight for good. This is going to be your final starting over. You're going to have skills and understanding and confidence about how to eat to lose weight, how to move your body, how to manage those feelings of overwhelm. And sometimes when we have a lack of motivation, we're going to hit all of those areas together. If you have questions as you're listening to this series or any of my episodes, be sure to go ahead and leave them right in the YouTube comments or send me an email to hello@thehealthhobby.com. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Many of you listeners, that's you, my friend, are solid listeners on my podcast platform, so Apple and Spotify, but you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel. So be sure to connect on both Apple, Spotify, and or my YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribing. It really helps to grow my podcast. Finally, don't forget to sign up for my email list as well because I share all sorts of other weight loss tips to my email subscribers. This is a really great way to connect with me because I really don't use social media much anymore. All right, all that stuff, YouTube, email list, any links that I happen to reference in this episode, all live down in the show notes, the show description. So pop down there, check it all out. Thanks so much for supporting this podcast. I appreciate you guys so much. This is so fun for me, and I hope that it has been a major life changer for you. And be sure to share this podcast with your favorite mom friend or bestie. Okay, jumping into the second episode for week 2, this is going to be your first lesson in nutrition management for weight loss. All right, buckle up. And before you start to run away on me, this is where people are like, I don't want to do it. This is the place where you are locking in, my friend. And I have a really simple way of kind of getting your feet wet, trialing, getting used to these changes in your nutrition routines and the skills that you need to maintain to successfully lose weight. So just stick with me, take each step as they come, one at a time. have an open mind, be patient with yourself. You are learning something. You're not going to be perfect at it right out the gate, or even for the first few weeks or even month. It's okay. You're going to find your rhythm and your flow, and you're going to be like, wow, I really got this after a few weeks or so. And it just takes time. So I want you to get out a notebook, and we're going to do a few things together in this episode to get you started in what I like to call smart nutrition. And very quick, I'm sure you can tell my voice doesn't sound great. This is actually the second time I'm recording this episode because I've been very sick. Both my kids were sick. I had to go to the ER. I had to go to urgent care. Everyone's on medication. Now it's my turn. So I recorded it and I just didn't have a lot of energy, but my voice sounded okay. But now my voice sounds terrible. But I just wasn't happy with the first go. So I apologize for the cold that I know you can hear in my voice, but the show must go on, right? So let's dive in. So I said that you're going to be learning what I call smart nutrition. And that is because once you get your wheels greased in this area, you'll be making smart choices instead of poor choices that are keeping you stuck from reaching your weight loss goals, but are also keeping you from feeling energized, feeling motivated, keeping you marinated in poor mood, and even experiencing anxiety and depression, ruining your sleep quality. Fill in the blank. Nutrition is that powerful. It gets into every aspect of our lives. I can't stress this enough. Getting up to speed with smart nutrition practices can change your life and will. And please listen carefully, you guys. I can set all of you up on a path for weight loss, right? Like we're walking more, we're moving more, you're paying attention to your personal wellness in efforts to keep yourself motivated like we did in the last episode. And coming up, we'll even start lifting weights. So we're doing all these things. We have all these new actions and routines that we're building slowly into our life. But really, the key to losing weight is to lock in your nutrition. Period. Done. I could, mic drop. It's over. So let's talk about this for a second. You are unique. Everybody on this planet is their own person, their own body. Everyone has personal needs, different needs. Everyone requires their very own amount of calories each day. And then you'll need to eat just a little bit less. So that's called being in a calorie deficit. And this is what skyrockets and guarantees weight loss. Yes, I can say guarantee because it's true. It's basic math. So basically all this means, simplified down, is that you're going to be eating a little bit less food than your body needs. Then your body is like, hey, I need a little bit more energy. So it's going to pull from your energy reserves, which is your body fat, and poof, you lose weight. I always feel like it's like a magic wand, but it's not. It's just basic math. And if we can just recognize it for that, I feel like it's so simple. What I'm trying to get across is that the concept is simple. Your body is not that complicated when it comes to like gaining weight and losing weight. So I want to just drive home the importance of locking in your nutrition, because even if your workouts aren't on point, your nutrition really should be when at all possible. Okay, so you're probably like, well, then why do I need to work out? A lot of people don't really like to work out. I have a friend at work. She's always like, I don't know how you go to the gym. I hate working out. I was like, oh, well, you could go for a walk in your lunch. She's like, no, I don't want to even do that. Like she's just like a hard no, like won't work out. She looks great. She shouldn't need to work out. Everyone should work out, actually. Workouts are not just for weight loss programs, by the way. But you get so many benefits from lifting weights and strength training and cardiovascular training. And we'll get into this in another episode, but in short, it helps boost your calorie burn per day. So that's why we do want you to work out. We want to make sure you're moving more. Remember, you're walking every day to get your movement up. You're thinking about ways that you can be standing more throughout the day or getting more steps in throughout the day. Well, having a strength training workout just gives you a cherry on top for calorie burn. And then it's a host of other metabolic benefits, mood benefits, GI benefits, physique benefits, right? We want that toned look. More importantly, in my mind, it helps with bone density. The list goes on and on. However, when we're on a weight loss journey, we don't just lose fat, we also lose muscle. So one of the reasons why we want to eat high protein is because we are losing muscle. We want our body to be able to rebuild and maintain muscle mass. And then we want to build more muscle to get that toned look, that nice physique that you have in your mind. I know that you can get and you'll get there. But also having more muscle mass burns more calories throughout the day. And it's a really small fraction, but we're talking about we need to optimize our body for weight loss. And it's not just for, those strong, sexy tank top arms that we're like lifting weights every week or a six pack. That's not the only goal. It's really, really important to work out for other reasons. But as far as calorie burn, we want that cherry on top to get a little bit more calorie burn throughout the day. We want to gain muscle because we're going to be losing weight. We want to make sure we're maintaining our muscle mass and building a little bit more so we can optimize our calorie burn. And of course, everything else that comes with strength training and making sure we have a little bit of a cardiovascular workout. Again, these are topics for another episode. They are coming. It is, I always say this, it's my favorite topic. I'm actually going to say this here in a few minutes too, but I just love this stuff, you guys. So yes, you need to work out, but locking in you essentially could still lose weight without working out because of the math. You ate a certain amount of calories, so basically all I'm saying is you ate a certain amount of energy, you ate a little bit less, so you're in a calorie deficit, your body pulls from your fat stores, then you lose weight, okay? You could do that without working out or walking, but we want to do this the right way, so we are going to move our bodies. I just want to make that clear, but that's how important nutrition is in a weight loss journey. Nutrition and maintaining a calorie deficit is how you lose weight. This is probably not news to you guys, but I want to continue to stress the point, okay? And I want you to just take a deep breath and know that it might be hard for you. For some of you, it might be easy to lock the stuff in. But it just is what it is. This is a trial and error. It's an experiment. What works for you? I have a really great simplified approach when learning nutrition. I don't want you to dive headfirst into making meal plans and meal prepping and trying to figure out your macronutrients. I know I'm saying a lot of crazy vocabulary words. If you need to learn nutrition vocabulary, go back and listen to it's episode number 17, Must Know Nutrition Vocabulary for Weight Loss. That is a must listen, and it will help you kind of get up to speed on some of the vocab that I've been using. Calorie deficit, calorie, energy expenditure. I go into macronutrients, all the words that I'll be using throughout this series. It could be really helpful for you to go back and listen to episode 17 before you get into the series if you haven't already listened to it. So I'll be sure to link that below. So let's get into our lesson. What do you say? I think you get that it's time to start locking in nutrition. You've got a good routine about managing your time. You've got a walking routine going. You know how to do a personal check-in. You've got your starting metrics all locked in. Now it's time to get your feet wet with nutrition. So today we're going to be doing, it's going to sound like a lot, but it's not. We are going to get your calorie tracker app locked and loaded in your cell. We're going to calculate your custom calorie budget and deficit. We're going to talk about your routine for this week where I want you to track 3 days of food. We'll talk about what I mean by that. We're going to start a mini meal prep routine. And we're going to talk about hydration and water, staying hydrated. It's not as much as it sounds. And remember, you have 7 full days to work through all of this, play around, and get your balance. So again, I love saying this because I think it's so important. I want you to take a learner's approach as we work through this particular episode and everything else moving forward, because I feel like moms, we're so busy, we can easily overcomplicate things. And I hope that I'm simplifying and breaking down things into micro actions enough that it doesn't feel like it's complicated. And if you are feeling like that, just let me know and we can work through it together. Send me an email or put your questions or, any feedback of where you feel like you need some support in the YouTube comments. All right, let's get started. Okay, I'm pretty sure I say this about every topic I talk about on this podcast, but I have to say, like, this fires me up the most. Nutrition is probably the most important and most motivating, in my opinion, because it's so powerful when we think about how it affects and literally how we utilize it and respect how it works for weight loss. To be able to take advantage of this power, we need to have some information to help guide decisions and track progress. In this step, so in this lesson, we're going to be downloading a nutrition tracking app to your phone. So, this is the first thing I'd like you to do today. If you're taking notes, you can just write this down, and we're going to talk about each step a little bit as I go through. So, the app that I'd like you to download is called Cronometer. You can download it on your cell, on your iPad. There's even a desktop version. And you can get a premium version or you can get the free version. I am a cheapskate and I use the free version. I don't know how much the premium version is. I think it's $20 a month. I feel like that's a little bit steep, to be honest with you. But if you would like the premium version, by all means, please get it. But it's not necessary. I will say though, the mobile app in the free version, it has a lot of ads and they're very intrusive. They like pop up while you're inputting your food or, adding stuff to the food diary or, putting something into the app. I'm just being super honest with you. I don't care. I just like let it happen. I walk away and then come back and finish up. So if that is bothersome for you, you might want to consider the premium version. But if you use the desktop version on the free app, the ads are on the side of the screen and don't impinge on your ability to input data. So I actually just found that out the other day. I was like, oh, this is way better. I actually like to be on my laptop more anyway because it's less eye strain for me. And I like typing with both my hands and my hand doesn't get cramped up. But whatever works best for you guys, mobile, desktop, premium, free, I don't care. I just want you to have the Cronometer app locked and loaded and ready to go. Throughout your journey, you'll use this app for the following actions. This is going to be your bestie when it comes to this process. So you're going to calculate your calorie budget. We're going to do that today. And as we go on, so as you lose weight, you have to adjust. And so that's kind of something people don't really think about. They're like, I calculated my calorie budget. I lost 7-8 pounds and now I'm kind of stagnant and nothing's happening. Well, you have to continue to adjust your deficit and your calorie intake. We'll talk about that as time goes on. The next thing you'll be using this app for is for tracking your weight. So every day I pop open this app and I just track my weight in there and it keeps a nice graph for me so I can see where I'm going up and I'm going down. I love having visuals for things like this. You get to store your progress photos in there. So if you took your photos like you were supposed to in week 1, you can pop them in there. And then as we do photo check-ins throughout the process, you can put them in there. I love this because you can see them all lined up and in the same space. So you can see your body just transforming in front of your eyes. You also, and this is the big dog, you're going to track your food in there and your water intake. And finally, you're going to track your calories burned from workouts and general activities of daily living and your walks. So it is a robust tool. It's literally everything we do in this series. You need this app to be able to do your weekly check-in. So it, like I said, it is your go-to. It's your bestie. It's your information. It's your tracker. It's all in one for you in your hand at all times. So today I want you to download the app. You can do it right now if you'd like, or after this episode. Again, it's called Cronometer. It's available in the App Store on all the mobile devices. I'll be sure to link it below. And then the next step for today is to set up your Cronometer profile. The app is going to ask you a set of specific questions for you to build your custom to you calorie profile and goal profile. It actually does the calculations for your custom calorie budget for you. So I bet some of you were like, oh my gosh, we're calculating our calorie budget. I'm going to have to do algebra. I used to want to show people the algebra that it takes to get down to your estimated daily calorie budget and then calculating a deficit. The reason I like to show people the math is because it proves that it works. The math doesn't lie. It really qualifies that this is the real deal. This is science. This works, and it helps me stay on track. So I'm not going to do that with you guys. If you guys want to work with me to one-to-one, actually, that is something that I do show my clients. I don't make them do the math. But okay, it's not just me telling you this and telling you that the numbers don't lie. Well, they don't, because I'll show you the math. But the app does it for you, which is so great because it is it's a multi-step algebra. I can't talk. It's a multi-step algebra equation to get to these numbers. So we have so much tech now that you don't even need to worry about learning the math. But if you're interested, let me know and I'll send you a little worksheet and you can do it yourself. I've actually double checked, just sidebar. I'm always like kind of like, does this thing actually, does it actually know what it's doing? And I've actually double checked the math by hand manually and it's pretty close. So I'm feeling really good about that. And let's just talk about your calorie budget and the calculations. Even though it is doing it for you, I want to talk about a couple things. So although, we have the tech that's going to do the math for us, it's going to tell you your estimated calorie budget, your estimated intake for the day, and then it's also going to tell you what your deficit should be. It's pretty self-explanatory. When you get to the end of the profile building, it's going to be like around step 5 when you're building your profile and Cronometer. It's going to ask you how much weight you want to lose per week. So you can tell it up to 2 pounds per week, but let's talk about that. That's super excessive weight loss. It's extremely rapid, and I do not recommend this. In fact, Cronometer is going to pop up a warning to you that this is actually it's not unsafe, but it's just not recommended. It's too rapid, and you probably won't be able to, depending on how much weight you need to lose. Some of you, to lose weight that fast, you would have to under eat, which we are not going to do. So under eating really fast would be anything. So and it's going to pop up notes and things and warnings if this is you. So anything under 1,200 calories a day is not enough food. So if you're eating 1,200 calories or less, I want you to highly reconsider what you're doing. It is not safe. Your body needs your body needs this fuel, this energy to function, to breathe, to be able to talk, to think, to pump your heart, to keep your immune system going. So you need to think about the food you eat is actual fuel for your body and not just like a numbers in and out so you can lose weight. We don't want to starve your body just so you can fit in your bathing suit when you go to Hawaii. That's not what we want to do. We want to do this the right way. And that's why I'm always emphasizing, we're the tortoise in the race, not the hare. We're going very slow. This is a slow drip. So when you get to the page where it asks how much weight do you want to lose per week, I recommend anywhere from 0.5 to 1 pounds loss per week. That's a really nice, safe, steady weight loss pace. So I want to talk about that for a second. And then once you enter that, it's going to, on step 5, it's going to give you a goal overview. And it'll tell you if you stay on track starting on, whatever day you open up this profile, it'll give you a forecasted date where you're going to hit your weight loss goal, which is really fun. So it's going to be like, okay, you started it on January, whatever. You told me you wanted 1 pound per week. You want to get to X goal weight. It'll calculate that for you. And it's going to say, I'm just making up a date. It's going to say, okay, you're going to hit that weight on June 15th, 2026 or whatever date. So it does it for you. And it's kind of fun. So you can like put it on your calendar. You can be like, okay, that is the day that I'm finally going to reach my goal. Of course, depending on how you go through the program and how you adhere to our steps here and your personal calorie needs and workout consistency, that all can shift. But I love how it just kind of gives you that date because it is something fun to look forward to. It finally, in that same step, you're going to get an energy target, which is going to be how many calories that you get to eat every day. And I like to say that you get to eat because eating is fun. It's part of our livelihood. It keeps us alive. It keeps us healthy. It keeps us from getting sick if we're eating the right things, right? If it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's social. Um, it's so fun. So we get to eat. So your energy target is how many calories you get to eat every day. It's up to you how you use that target amount. And then below it's going to say daily energy deficit. So it might be depending on how much weight you told it you want to lose per week, it will calculate that and will give you the deficit. So it'll probably anywhere from like 300 to 500 negative. But you don't need to worry about that. You just need to worry about the energy target because the energy target has already taken into consideration that deficit for you. So the other cool thing is for this app is that it syncs with your fitness wearables. When you walk or just move around and you're wearing your fitness wearable, like I recommended in week 1, it records those actions as calories burned. Just so activity of daily living and, of course, your walks. And then also if you are working out, you say you're strength training, my Apple Watch, I can tell it, hey, I'm going for a run, and you push start and it tracks the workout, or I'm strength training, you push start and end, and it's tracking that specific time. It tracks your heart rate, estimated calories burned. Really, really cool. But all of that stuff, if you sync your wearable to Cronometer, which I recommend you do, it goes automatically into your daily journal and it will adjust your calorie budget for you. So sometimes, let me give you an example. My calorie budget for the day, so my energy target is about 1,500 calories. So if I go to the gym and sometimes I work out at the gym for quite a long time, I burn an estimated 400 calories. Well, that is energy that I still need to replace. So it adds it to my energy target. So I get to eat a little bit more, which is one reason why I like working out. Do I get to eat more? Yes, please. That is great. So anyway, all that math, I know it seems complicated as I talk through it, but all of this is done for you. So if you have a fitness wearable, sync it to Cronometer. It'll ask you if you want to do that, and it will just populate each day for you. And at the top of the diary, the food diary, I do want you to play around with the app and kind of get used to where everything is. It'll adjust for you, and you'll see your energy targets shift based on how much you worked out. Maybe you went on a hike. Maybe you're cleaning the house all day. Like all that takes energy, even if it's not I'm doing air quotes, workout. So it's really nice. It's a no-brainer. It's like you really don't have to do much. It does so much for you. I love, love, love this app. And one thing I did share at the beginning of the series that I was going to pop in some bonus episodes. I do have a goal of doing a app walkthrough of Cronometer, so I can show you what it looks like to set up your profile. I can show you what it looks like to enter food, track your weight, put in your photographs, things like that. Just a quick tour of the app so you know how to do things. But I feel like it's pretty intuitive when you get in there. I don't have that ready yet. And there's some tech I need to figure out so I can do screen share, which I have never done before from my cell phone to my computer. Anyway, when that's ready, it will be on YouTube. You want to watch it because it will be a video. And it will have my screens and things like that. And I'll show you how I, add things and how to use the barcode scanner, which is really nice. So if you're adding a food, you can just flip the packaging over, scan the barcode, it populates in there for you. It's so nice. There's so many great things I love about this app. Another tip is to use the favorites as you enter foods in. There's some foods that I eat almost every day. I star them i.e. adding them to the favorites. So I don't have to search them up. They're just in my favorites list. I can just add them. You can copy and paste from previous days to other days. It's very simple and I would say user friendly, especially for busy moms. So there's not like this whole head scratching thing like, which food should I enter? What did I have yesterday when I had that? I mean, it's just, it starts to build this nice library for you. And it also has, if it's a food you've never entered before, it has a robust food library. So it's really, really helpful. I love it. And make sure you download the app. So the next thing you'll be doing in the app, which I mentioned, is tracking your weight. I like to track my weight every day. I know I've kind of said different strategies throughout previous episodes of this podcast on, what is the best routine for tracking your weight. So what I've heard, all my favorite smart people, the PhDs I listen to, all the podcasts I listen to are like mostly politics or or nutrition podcasts. But I've heard the best way is to track it each week and then you take your average weight loss over the month. That is what I've heard. However, I like to see it every day. And the reason I do that is because it helped me learn that my body really does fluctuate in weight every day, even if I'm eating 100% on point, no messing up. I don't want to call it messing up, no veering off the plan. Your body just shifts with stress, with sleep, with hydration, and it's with your period. It's really kind of interesting to watch and with specific food. So say you ate on track, you ate within your energy target and you're like, "Hey, I was in my deficit. I should have lost, a few ounces this morning." Or at least stayed the same or even lost more. You should have lost a little bit of weight in the morning. When you should check your weight in the morning if you can. But for example, if I have even one glass of alcohol, I am bloated for 3 days. Like retain a ton of water. So I'm able to see those things because one, I'm tracking everything. I track my beverages. Including alcoholic beverages. I track all the food I eat. So you can see patterns. So it's really interesting. Obviously, I'm kind of into this stuff. It's my hobby to kind of learn and see those things. But if I was coaching you, I would ask that you track your weight at least 3 times a week so I can identify those patterns. So I want you to be able to identify those patterns too. I want you to be able to coach yourself. So I do recommend you track your weight if possible, first thing in the morning, right when you wake up, after you've gone to the bathroom. Open up your phone, pop it into your Cronometer weight tracker. Another sidebar, I have this really cool scale that I got on Amazon. I'll link it below. And there's an app for the scale, but the scales app links to my Apple Fitness, which links to my Cronometer. So once I just step on the scale, I literally don't have to do, I'm not even kidding you, I don't have to do anything. I just step on the scale and it's logged into my Cronometer. So the tech is cool out there, you guys. I mean, I'm trying to optimize everything. We're busy moms. If I have to do one less, I have this thing at work. I was training one of my colleagues who was a new employee to our department, and I always told her less clicks and type, anything I have to do, like, less clicks in our software, the better. So I'm always trying to optimize my time in micro ways to save a bunch of time in the end. So anyway, I'll put the scale below. It's pretty cool. All right, just like you track your weight in there, you can pop your progress photos in there. Progress photos I like to do maybe once a week, but every couple weeks they're pretty good. So every 2 weeks is you could probably see more results, a bigger change in your body, and try to do them in the same outfit if possible, in the same space, in the same lighting. Again, that's just me being a perfectionist. It doesn't have to be that way, but you want to be able to see the shifts in the body. And the way that you do that is try to keep consistent, consistent visuals in your photos. So you can see like, oh, these jeans are fitting a little bit looser, than they did in the beginning photo. Or maybe you're in a bathing suit and you're like, wow, my waist is kind of tucking in a little bit from, my walk routine and my nutrition routine. This is really working. And I love not only love tracking my weight, even if it goes up, like I don't care. Like that's the other thing. I just want to go back to tracking the weight for a second. Even if it goes up, I really want you to just take a breath and take a step back, because if you that's why I like people to track their weight every day, because you'll see the natural shifts that like I am not the same weight every single day. Even at my very fittest, I fluctuate like 5 to 8 pounds. Like I'm not even kidding you, throughout the month. That's normal. So I want people to see that, because we can get in our heads like, oh my gosh, I gained 8 pounds. Well, it's like, is your period about to come up? Did you go out and drink like 7 cocktails with your girlfriends last night? Like there's all these different things. Or like maybe you happen to eat. I'm just making stuff up. These things happen to me, and this is what I have experienced with myself and other people I've coached. Like maybe you kind of stepped back on your dairy a little bit, and then for the last week you had milk in your coffee, and then you had more cheese than usual, and it just kind of made you a little bit more bloated and heavy. It's okay. It's just good information to have, so you understand why you're fluctuating in weight. Yeah, you might be gaining weight because you're overeating, but you'll know if you're overeating because you're tracking your weight. You're tracking your food and your energy intake. So this is why nutrition is so important, and tracking your nutrition is so important. I have an episode called, it's number 20, The Power of Calorie Tracking for Weight Loss. It kind of goes deeper into why calorie tracking works. It'll talk about calorie deficit and calculating your calorie deficit in more detail, but it is my number one episode of the lifetime of this podcast. It is number one. It remains number one every single week. People download it every single week and listen to it. Like sometimes that's the first episode they go to, and it's the 20th episode. So I highly recommend you listen to that. But that's because it is so critical to this process for you to be successful, that tracking these things, getting to know this data is my personal strategy for you to understand it and just kind of step back and be like, this is just information, and I can make positive choices and take the direction of success with this information. Now that you have your Cronometer set up in your phone, I want you to take 3 consecutive days this week and track your food. Now, I don't want you to worry about eating within your energy target, eating over it, or what you're eating, how much you're eating. You're going to have to know how much or estimate how much you're eating and put it in there. But I don't even want you to, measure stuff, get your food scale out. I don't even care. I want you to just wing it and be like, I think I had a cup of rice. I think I had, 4 ounces of protein. Just do your best. It might be totally off, but the goal of this is to just get in a routine of getting in the app and tracking your food, and also kind of taking an inventory of how you're currently eating. And we're doing this without judgment. We're doing this, one, to build that routine of getting in the app, and also just kind of seeing, well, what do I typically eat? That's really good to know, because some of that stuff you might really enjoy. We want to make sure we're including many of those things that you enjoy in your upcoming meal planning as we move along this program together. The next thing that kind of goes along with that is, I want you to think about doing a mini meal prep this week. And what do I mean by that? Well, a mini meal prep, when we're just getting started, what I like to do is I like to recommend that you meal prep snack for the week. So it could be 1 or 2 snacks that you're going to have throughout the day. I like to have a snack in the morning and a snack like late afternoon, like in between. Think of like school pickup time, like your kids are hungry. Like I get hungry at that same time too. So I like to have a snack, around 10:30 334. And I want them to be simple. This is not I need all day Sunday to meal prep and buy a bunch of food and containers and things like that. No, I just want you to get in a routine of preparing something healthy for yourself. And that could look a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. It could be as simple as going to Costco and getting the box of protein bars, and you're like, okay, that's my morning snack. That's fine. Or it could be something a little more involved, like apples and peanut butter. You're like, okay, well, I need to cut these apples and I need to have some peanut butter. Again, I don't want you to worry about measuring anything yet. I just want you to get used to having a snack, and I want it to be ready for you. So snacks are great because a lot of things are grab and go. Even if it's just a piece of fruit, you're like, okay, bananas and almonds, I can grab those and go. Like, it's not this whole involved thing. It's very simple. And so what are some things that you like to snack on? Think about that. Write down what you want to have for your snack, and I want you to prepare them ahead of time for yourself each day this week. And if you are ready to take this a little further, I would recommend that these snacks are high in protein if possible. So it could be like a protein shake that is pre-made for you. You can go to Costco, you can get boxes of them, you can just grab them. Like I said, the protein bars. Or it could be individual yogurts and, fresh fruit. It could be, these are some ideas about high protein stuff that I like to have. I like to do a sliced deli turkey direct from the deli. Our deli here, one of our delis does like a fresh roasted turkey breast every day, and they'll slice it up for you. It is so good. I love having, a few slices of that with some, bell peppers that I slice up. Really high protein. Or maybe it's trail mix, or maybe it's I don't know, maybe you had leftover chicken a couple nights from dinner, so you could, portion that up and just have that as a snack. But it doesn't have to be any of those things. You're like, I hate all of that stuff. I don't want it. I want you to think about what you like. Get into ChatGPT or Google and research high protein snacks. Tell it what you like to eat. You use ChatGPT or Grok, you guys. It is so helpful. Tell it, like, these are the things I like to eat. I'm looking to make some high protein snacks, just one or two options for the week that are easy for me to make. I'm a busy mom. Tell it everything about yourself. What are some ideas? Make it a brief list for me of what I could do that's fast, simple, and that can easily track in my calorie tracker. That is a hot tip. Do not forget that I just told you that. It will save you so much time and brain power that you're going to be like, I can't believe I've never done this before. Go tell your friends. That might be the most helpful thing I told you all day. No, I don't think so. But don't overthink it. Like, for me, it's like I shop mostly at Costco, you guys. I have these two teenagers, we were a family of four. It's very cost effective. And I get a pre-made protein drinks. So those are already portioned out. They're 30 grams of protein. I have that. That's one of my snacks. I go back and forth between having a protein bar every day. I don't usually do that. My other snack is usually like a fruit or a vegetable with, like I said, I do turkey, or sometimes I do yogurt and fruit. But I really like the idea of you thinking about high protein, whole foods if possible. Like I said, I do prepackaged foods. Like, I'm no hate, and how you can get in some fruits and veggies throughout the day. Snack time is a great time to get fruits and veggies because, like I said, I can grab a banana. I can grab an orange. I eat a navel orange pretty much every day. The big oranges, it is so filling. It's so good for you. It tastes good. I can just grab it and peel it. Like, there's not this whole involved thing going on. So this week is you starting to think about how you're going to look ahead, plan healthy meals for yourself in the snack space. This is not a big meal prep situation. It's going to be very simple. So that is your first step in preparing healthy meals for your stuff. So you're doing that this week. All right, our final topic today is this is a robust episode, so thanks for sticking with me here. Is hydration. Everyone asks me, well, how much water should I drink? The real answer is, well, that depends on how much you're doing for the day. So, are you going on like a 10-mile hike where you're going to need a lot more water than you do when you're sitting at work typing for 8 hours, doing absolutely nothing? But as you are walking probably a little bit more than usual, you probably need a little bit more water. As you're going to start strength training as we go on, same, you're going to need a little bit more water. What I like to do personally, I have a goal of 100 ounces of water a day. I hardly ever hit that goal, but I work towards it. And the way that I do that is the following. When I wake up in the morning, I down a glass of water. Every time I have a meal, I drink water. And that doesn't mean that I don't have other types of beverages throughout the day. Obviously, I drink coffee for sure, but I always drink water first before I have my coffee. And if you're someone that's a heavy energy drink person, you're a soda drinker, you are like, I don't like plain water, get some ideas about flavoring your water with fresh fruits. I like cucumber, lemon in my water. I mean, it is so refreshing. It's like you're at the spa. You can put like strawberries and pineapple like into your water and it infuses the water with those flavors. It's really delicious. But the easiest way to do that is just, okay, you're like, I'm eating something, I'm going to have a glass of water. And then the other way that I do that is I always have a water bottle with me. So if you remember back in week 1, there's a checklist, your get ready checklist. On that checklist is have a large water bottle. I used the Stanley cup as an example because of the size. You don't have to get a branded Stanley cup unless you want to, but I just want you to have an idea. I think they're about 30. I think those are 32 ounces. There might be a little bit more than that. But I have a 64-ounce Hydro Flask. It's a generic Hydro Flask that I got on Amazon, and I just fill that up and I drink off of it all day. So not only am I having, glasses of water throughout the day, I'm just kind of sipping on this giant jug of water throughout the day. Look, I track it in my Cronometer. Sometimes I hit my goal, sometimes I don't. And depending on your body size and again your physical activity, the amount of water that you need is unique to you. So the standard recommendation that we've heard probably since we're little, right? 64 ounces. Maybe that's your goal because most people really aren't getting enough water anyway. And something else is we just talked about eating more fruits and veggies. As we increase our intake of fruits and veggies, well, there's a ton of water. And, especially if you're eating like a raw fruit or veggie, there's so much water in there that you're getting that water from those things as well. So, a lot of different strategies here. The goal I want you to take away from this is, for this week at least, is if you are not a water drinker right now, some people are very into water and this is not hard for them. If that's not you, I want you to use those tips. Like when I wake up, drink water. Before I have my coffee, I'm drinking some water. At every meal, even with your snack, I want you to grab some water. And look, if you don't finish the glass, that's fine. You're just working to get more plain water in throughout the day. It is going to make you feel 1,000 times better. Your skin is going to start to glow. You're going to have more energy. I mean, water, it is life, you guys, literally. So, again, I'm not into this hard and fast thing. Like, just do your best. Maybe you like to have a soda with your lunch. Can you have a bubbly water, sparkling water instead, a few times a week? Or I know a lot of people are soda drinkers like morning till evening. Where can you cut out soda? Can you have soda, at lunch only? And then around it, can we have water only? So think about what works for you. And one final hack is I always have water in my car when at all possible because we're in our cars a lot, especially as busy moms. And so, anytime I stop at the stoplight, I can drink the water. If I'm commuting somewhere, I can just sip on my water. You're just sitting there doing nothing. Yes, you will have to go to the bathroom more. You're going to notice that. But that's not a bad thing. You're going to get up and get more steps while you're going to the bathroom. But again, don't make it this complicated thing. I'm not going to give you a hard and fast number. I can't. I just don't think that's appropriate. So just, I like to start with the 64 ounces. That's the standard recommendation. My personal goal for people is work towards 100 ounces, but you might not need it. You might not need 100 ounces of water every day. So it's a goal that you're working towards. And just in general, I just want you to think about getting more plain water in throughout the day. That's really it. When we get into strength training, I'm going to really encourage you to like drink a lot more water. Because you're gonna need it. You're gonna just crave it anyway. So it'll be pretty easy to include more water as we get into more physical exertion in our strength training. So you guys, you have 7 days to do all of that. And the majority of what I talked about today is how we utilize the app. So just get in Cronometer, play around with it, get to know, where, the food diary, there's a little plus button like adding, how do you add food? There's like 30 different ways to do all the things. So just, push the buttons, play around with the food scanner, and get used to using that. Get into your profile and like, where do you put your weights? How do you get into, putting in the photos? Just play around with the app and get used to it. And then we want to work on tracking your food without judgment for the next 3 days. Something I just wanted to share, something that happens when my clients do that exercise is that they end up, without really thinking about it, eating healthier than they typically do, which is great. I love that. But if that's not you, it's fine. Remember, I just want you to get used to the routine. And also like I said, I want you to capture what you typically eat right now, because there could be some things that we do need to really consider reducing. Depending on how it's making you feel, I might ask you to, if we were working together, I might say, hey, we really need to think about eliminating this. I don't like saying that, but if it's not making you feel good, I don't want you having it, because I want you to feel good throughout this process. But again, track your food for 3 days, no judgment. I don't care what you eat. Could be McDonald's four meals a day. I don't care. I just want you to get it in there, get used to getting into the app. Make a plan for your snacks and feed yourself that healthy, high protein fruits and veggies snack a couple times a day. And I want to know, what is your snack going to be? Get into the YouTube comments. Let me know what you've decided on your snack so other people can get ideas. I want to cheer you on too, because this is a huge step in cleaning up your nutrition, creating that smart nutrition routine that you're going to build and get so good at as we go on through this process together. And finally, we just talked about this at length. We're going to work on increasing our plain water consumption throughout the day. All right, you guys, that was a lot. Thanks for sticking with me throughout this whole time today. This was a long episode, and I'll catch you on week 3. Don't forget, if you haven't already, get into my YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Share this episode with a friend. That helps me out so much. If you have questions, leave them in the YouTube comments or send me an email at hello@thehealthhobby.com. Catch you on the next episode.
Hey there, me again. Quick disclaimer, I share tips, insights, and ideas to help you on your weight loss and fitness journey, but I'm not your doctor or your personal health guru. Before diving into any nutrition or fitness plans I talk about, make sure to check in with your healthcare provider. They know your body best. Think of this podcast as your cheerleader in a place for healthy living idea inspiration, not your prescription pad. Stay safe, stay smart, and let's crush those goals together. Until next time.